She won't be coming back.
$50 says she does.
She'll have requested a transfer.
You reckon?
Wouldn't you? I'm only here for a couple of months before.
Wishful thinking?
It doesn't bother me whether she comes back or not.
Sure, I mean, you were the one who, you know.
You can say it, PJ. I am the one who shot Susie's husband.
So aren't you just a little nervous about seeing her again?
Why would I be? I had no choice.
Benny, you can't kill another human being without feeling terrible about it.
Is that how you felt when you shot that woman?
Arlene Darcy.
We're going to see the man Thomas 508. You attended the Salvation Army Hall for a cold bird.
I noticed it first thing this morning.
Well, the last thing we need is the cost of replacing a smashed window. It's not counting the money stolen. It was everything we raised last week for the new welfare centre. It was $720.
Quite a bit of money.
Luke Darcy.
Mr. Hashem?
You're under arrest.
I'm not sure the handcuffs are strictly necessary.
Unnecessary.
Joe, could you take Mr. Darcy through to the interview room, please?
Yes,
With Jones?
All right, Jonesy. Take his handcuffs off, please. Yep.
Was that,
Yep.
He's out of jail already.
Time flies.
I assume we're talking parole and not jailbreak.
Well, this theft means he's broken parole, so he'll go straight back in.
So he's responsible for the break-in?
We haven't talked to him yet.
Luke Darcy is at the Salvo Hall. There's trouble at the Salvo Hall. Luke Darcy is trouble. It's not that hard to work out.
Why don't you see what he's got to say for himself? Given your history with the suspect, perhaps you should sit out of the interview.
I'll be sitting in.
Can you tell us what time you arrived at the Salvo Hall this morning?
Yeah, about 8. Window was already broken by then.
What were you doing there anyway?
I'm working as a volunteer. I can understand why you'd drag me in here. But you've got it wrong. I've changed.
You haven't changed that much if you're stealing from the Salvos. Even in the criminal world, that's considered pretty low.
I'm not in the criminal world anymore. I'm in the real world. I found God. In prison.
So that's where he's been all this time, eh?
You can mock me. I understand. But it's true.
How long have you been working as a volunteer?
Since I got back to town.
And when was that?
2 days ago.
Did you know where the cash box was kept?
I assume it was in the safe.
And did you take it?
No.
Just for the record, where were you last night?
I was at home with Grandma Lucy.
Happy families of the Darcy family, eh?
Strictly speaking, Grandma is a Kenny.
PJ, can I have a word?
You think I've been too hard on him?
Jonesy, can you keep an eye on our friend? Joe? Yeah, I do.
Yeah, well, maybe I remember a little too clearly the day he tried to set his stepfather on fire.
Maybe he really has changed.
Nobody changes that much, with or without God's help.
Even if you don't believe that he's become a Christian, what kind of person would get out of jail, instantly commit a crime and then hang around to get caught?
A sociopath like the one in there.
I know you don't like the guy, but bottom line, there is not a shred of evidence that Luke Darcy took that money, so we let him go.
You have got to be kidding.
Ben's right if you've got no evidence.
Look, I don't believe he has changed. Even working for the Salvos in the first place is all part of the sick little way his mind works.
You may be right.
I am
but you're
right.
not going to get anywhere without any evidence. Let him go.
I'm not a trainee.
You don't want to mess with him.
I've met him, I've seen his record. But he was in handcuffs, he's not Houdini.
Preying on women is Luke Darcy's specialty. I don't want you anywhere near him.
Well, I can look after myself, okay?
All right. You want to be on the case? You're on the case. I need someone to do a door knock around the Salvo Hall.
A door knock?
Did you find anything?
No, nobody saw or heard a thing. Didn't come back empty-handed, though. Detective Hashem, there's no way he's responsible for the theft.
Marissa, you don't know him.
Oh, I know he came to help us out.
You don't want this bloke anywhere near your organisation.
That's not quite the way we work.
Luke Darcy is a criminal. Now, I bet he didn't tell you he ran a protection racket. He beat up people for petty cash.
As a matter of fact, he did. Luke is totally open about his past.
Tried to set his stepfather on fire. Did he tell you that one?
All of it. But that's history. I mean, the Luke Darcy I've seen over the past few days is caring and generous.
He's evil.
Luke,
Always was, always will be.
I think you underestimate the power of Christian redemption.
What's that about redemption?
Hey!
Susie.
Hello, stranger.
Hi. Hey. How you doing? Yeah, welcome back.
Constable Rayner. Nice to see you. You look well.
8 weeks off, who wouldn't?
Someone who's been through what you have.
Yeah, well, that's what the counselling's for, and the therapy and the debriefing. Look, I'm not saying it's all gone away, but I am ready to carry on. So throw me in the deep end.
Well, quiet Wednesday morning, the water's still a bit shallow, but let's see what I can find.
Is there any chance I can move into the police residence? I don't want to go back to the flat. Too many memories.
Yeah, of course. I must admit that I'm surprised you came back at all. I mean, the memories can't just be at the flat.
Yeah, I know. But it's important for me to deal with this, to work with the people who saw it all. If I transferred, I'd feel like I was running away.
Are you all right about working with Ben?
$50, wasn't it?
Huh?
No way she'd come back, not in a million years.
Okay, so I was wrong. Good on her for coming back, I say.
Still no problem?
Absolutely not. No.
Hey, Ben?
Yeah?
Sergeant Stripes.
Yeah, they came through this week.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Look, I know it's probably a bit awkward for you seeing me and...
No.
I just thought we could have a bit of a chat.
A chat?
Yeah, my shrink thought it would be a good idea. I'm sure yours would have too.
Well, I'm not sure.
It means that we can sort of sort out any...
Ben, that was a hospital. Kid's been bashed.
A kid? How old?
14. Name's Bo Healy.
Right, let's go.
No, I'll go.
Are you sure?
Yep.
I mean, you big sergeant, me lowly pleb.
No, it's fine. I'll go.
Can I have a word?
I only left him for half an hour to go to the hairdresser. Stupid hair. What does it matter anyway?
Now, you run the takeaway place near the railway station? Your son works with you?
On his holidays. It gives him some pocket money. Gives me some company. He's a funny kid.
What time did you leave him?
My appointment was for 10. I left it around 5:02.
Did you notice anyone outside the shop, anyone waiting to catch him alive?
And what time did you get back?
About 10:30. It was just a trim and a blow dry.
And you found him beaten up?
There was so much blood on Bo, on the counter, on the cash register. All for $80 miserable. He was lying on the floor, bleeding and moaning in pain.
So he was still conscious when you found him? Did he say anything?
He said, "Mum, I'm sorry."
Kate, did he say who it was?
No. He just said it was one of the Kennys.
Luke Darcy's mother was a Kenny, so he is regarded as a Kenny.
Still, it's a big call.
He was a standover man. He beat up people for cash. Bo Healy was his latest victim.
We don't know that.
Look, I'm talking to Luke. You can stay in the car or come with me. It's up to you.
What are they doing here?
Now, come on. Got nothing to hide, remember? Hello again, Mr. Hasham. You remember my grandmother?
Mrs. Kenny?
And my cousin?
Ditch? What happened here?
Looks like Ditch hurt himself.
Really? Sure you didn't have anything to do with it?
Ran into a wall.
Where was this wall?
Over there.
Didn't have your cousin's name on it.
No.
The young boy was bashed and robbed this morning. Do you know anything about that?
No, I don't. Poor kid. I said to expect this. I'd be blamed for everything. I've been right here since I left the police station. You can ask my grandmother.
He's been right here ever since he left the police station.
Oh, he's someone else you might believe. You remember my sister? Long time. 7 years.
Kayla.
Guess the last time you saw her, you just shot her mum. No, wait. And there was the inquest.
Let's have a chat. Private. I heard you got a job at the timber yard. 3 days a week. I'm really glad things are working out for you.
Do my best.
Must be strange having your brother back.
She loves her brother.
Things are pretty quiet while he's away. I'm sure you don't want trouble to start up again.
Any trouble here are the cops. If you left us alone, things would be fine.
Hell, I don't want to be here any more than you want me here. But a 14-year-old boy was bashed an hour ago. And I want to know where Luke was. The truth.
He's been here ever since you lot finally stopped hassling him. I told you once.
It's like Grandma said.
There's not much we can do here if everyone's going to alibi each other. Come on.
There is one thing.
PJ.
Jonesy. PJ. Luke Darcy is responsible for the bashing of Bo Healy, and we've brought him in for a formal interview.
I don't know why he's targeting me, but if it's helping him work through some problem...
Constable. All right, watch it.
Well, Sergeant?
He says he didn't do it. His grandma, sister and cousin all alibi him. We've got nothing.
Violent robbery is his specialty.
Even if that's true, you can't keep dragging him in here without any evidence.
It's his handiwork. You may as well sign his name on it.
I hope you know what you're doing.
PJ, we've got no witnesses. He denies it, and he's alibied by 3 people.
No one is asking you to join me, Ben.
Hey, Ben, do you mind? I just thought we could have that chat.
I need to keep an eye on this interview.
Look, I can say it as many times as you like. I didn't hurt any kid.
It's your type of crime.
Yeah, once, maybe. I told you I've changed.
It's just funny how all these things start happening the minute you come into town.
Do you want my fingerprints? Where's this kid? I'll do a line-up. I'll do whatever it takes.
Luke, how did your cousin hurt himself?
I don't know.
So he didn't run into a wall?
You'd really have to ask him that.
He was Ditch at home all morning?
Yes.
But you were at the salvo hall and we had you in here, so you don't know where Ditch was.
Okay, so now he's responsible for the bashing. Blame a Kenny, any Kenny. Tell me, how are you going with the salvo break-in? You solved that one yet?
Not unless there's anything you need to tell us.
Captain Marissa worked so hard to raise that money, you know. She even got one donor to part with a $100 bill.
So?
So, as long as you're always dragging me in here every time something happens, it's good news for the real crims in this town, isn't it? They can get away with murder.
Well, if we can place him anywhere near the Healy takeaway, we've got him. Now we need to do a door knock, the whole area.
I don't think Luke did the assault. He offered to front the victim. Why would he do that if there was any chance that Bo Healy could recognise him?
Because he probably wore a balaclava.
He also volunteered fingerprints.
Look, he already knows we've got them on file, Ben. This is part of his act. The innocent man. The persecuted innocent man. He is playing with us. Can't you see that?
And see a man who's being totally reasonable and understanding under the circumstances.
That's right. Now he's got you conned as well.
Look, I know you've got history with Luke Darcy.
That's got nothing to do with it.
Are you sure about that?
Are you questioning my integrity?
I am saying that there are other people who could have done the assault on Bo Healy. And if you weren't so obsessed with Luke Darcy, you would have picked up on that.
Who? Ditch.
Ditch is the one with the bloody nose. Bo could have got one in before he went down. That would certainly explain the blood on the Healy's cash register. And Ditch actually is a Kenny. As in, it was one of the Kennys.
All right. You want to talk to Ditch? We'll talk to Ditch.
Where were you this morning, Ditch?
Home?
All morning?
All morning.
Got anyone who can verify that?
Grandma and Kayla will tell you.
Yeah, maybe they will. Doesn't mean you didn't pop out for a few minutes, though. That's all it would take to do the robbery.
Look, I wasn't anywhere near the takeaway.
We didn't mention the takeaway. So how do you know where the robbery took place unless you did it?
Wasn't me.
I think it was Ditch. And when Bo Healy wakes up, we've got you.
Didn't do it.
Do you know who did? Let me try a hypothetical, Ditch. Say you happen to know the person that bashed Bo Healy, and that person just happened to have recently gotten out of jail. Now, if you told us that person would go straight back to jail. It's been pretty good for you the last few years, hasn't it?
It's been all right.
Nice and peaceful with Luke away.
Yeah, we haven't been hassled by you blokes.
That's right. Nice and quiet. So you say the word. It all goes back to the way it was. All you have to do is say the word.
I didn't bash that kid. I don't know who did.
You hijacked my interview to pursue this obsession with Luke. I had him before you stuck your oar in. How else did Ditch know where the robbery took place unless he did it?
Luke probably told him.
Bull! And you fed Ditch a lie in order to send someone back to jail that neither of you like.
All right, settle down. That's a very serious allegation.
You better this.
PJ?
No, wasn't like that.
All right, calm down, both of you. Come with me.
You can hardly call Grandma Lucy a reliable witness. She would alibi Osama bin Laden if the police were looking for him.
Yeah, and Kayla?
Kenny blood is thicker than Terps.
Still, it'd be worth talking to her again. She might have turned out differently to the rest of the clan.
Chris has some info on the salvo break-in.
Hi. This itinerant bloke came in and bought a flagon this morning.
So?
Well, he paid for it with this, and I mean, he's not the sort of bloke that have $100 on him, let alone all in one hit.
Well, do you know who he is?
His name's Ronnie Hall.
That's the guy with the weird stutter.
He did ask for a flagon.
Guess he fell off the wagon.
Anyway, this is the note that I gave to Marissa yesterday. I know, because it's got a shopping list written on it. We were joking about it.
Yeah, I remember it. I remember the shopping list. Plus, we don't see too many big notes, so they tend to stand out.
Did Luke know that you'd collected a $100 note?
Well, I don't count money out in front of anybody. Well, it's a bit rich to flash money around people who don't have any.
So he had no idea you had a $100 note?
Well, I mentioned it to him in passing. Well, I was so pleased Chris made such a large donation. Oh, is that all?
Actually, no. We've come here to have a chat to Ronnie. Where did you come across this?
Just found it.
Found it where?
On the ground. Ground.
Did someone give you the money? Was it Luke Darcy? Did he put pressure on you? What are you scared of him? Are you scared of him, Ronnie?
No, he's scared of you, PJ.
We need to talk to Luke.
No.
But I need to follow up this information on the break-in.
PJ, you cannot bring Luke Darcy in 3 times in one morning. He may be on parole, but he's still got rights.
So how else do I prove our case?
Are you sure this is just not some
Oh,
sort
don't
of
say it.
personal vendetta?
Oh, you've said it.
PJ, you killed his mother. It's only natural that you'd feel guilty.
She was coming at me with a machete, for God's sake. I had no choice. Just like you had no choice when you killed Brad. This is not a personal vendetta against Luke Darcy. I just know what he's capable of. Guys like that don't change, they just get smarter.
Well, if that's true, he's not going to suddenly confess.
All right. Then we go at this from another way.
And I'm sure you've got an idea.
For starters, I need to check Ditch's alibi with Lucy and Kayla, and if Luke just happens to be around, then he might say something.
He might.
I think I'm only after Luke because I feel guilty about killing his mother. I transfer blame by looking for reasons why Luke is evil, thereby absolving myself of responsibility for taking his mother away. You are not the only person to spend time with the police shrink, Benny. I mean, do you feel guilty about killing Brad? That was different. No, it wasn't. Anyone home?
For me, it's over. I don't have a problem with it. Susie doesn't have a problem with it.
So you think like that in 7 years, eh? Hello? Hello?
Anyone home?
In here. Any news from the hospital?
She's still unconscious, mate. Doctor says she's suffering from multiple blows to the head. Ben's still there.
You found anything yet?
Sign of forced entry. Front door was unlocked. Crime centre on their way.
Oh, I'll secure the scene.
No sign of a Darcy or a Kenny?
Not yet. Kayla couldn't have been long gone. Let's get his baby clothes. Still wet.
Mount Thomas 258 to Mount Thomas 508.
Thomas 508. Go ahead, Ben.
I'm leaving the hospital now. The victim's still in a coma.
No point in hanging around then.
There's something else. Something worse.
What could be worse?
Raped. She's what, 80?
82.
What sort of animal rapes an 82-year-old woman?
I don't think we have to look very far.
Come on. She's Luke's great-grandmother, for God's sake.
I'm bringing him in.
No way. PJ, you can't believe that Luke is guilty of this sort of crime.
No, this is too much of a coincidence after 7 years of peace in the Kenny family. All this happens within 48 hours of Luke coming back into town.
Luke is the next of kin. He lives in the same house. We have to question him, whoever the offender is.
Right then. PJ? Joe? You wanted to work on the Darcy case? Here's your chance.
PJ, you can't just waltz out of here with anyone you like. I am the sergeant. You will need to ask me first.
Fine, I'll go by myself. Joe, you're no longer working on the Darcy case.
Well, hang on.
You can't go after Luke by yourself.
Sounds like you're giving me no option.
All right, then. Joe? Watch him.
What have you done, you evil piece of slime? You're an animal, Luke. How could you do it? How could you do it?
What is going on here? What are you talking about? Luke, when was the last time you saw your great-grandmother?
Why, what's happened?
Just answer the question.
Well, two hours ago, just before I got here. Why? What's going on?
PJ, what's happened?
He knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, I don't. Can someone please explain what is going on here? Luke's great-grandma's in hospital. She's been assaulted and raped.
And you think I? Where is she? I've got to
You're
go.
not going anywhere near her.
God. Who would do this to us?
Let's go.
PJ, we should deal with this here.
On your feet!
Ben.
Sorry about earlier. There's a lot going on.
Sure.
I think I've talked all I can about what happened. We've been interviewed, written reports, talked to the police shrink. It's over.
We haven't talked to each other.
I want to go to the hospital.
No way.
What about Kayla? Where's she? Does she know?
Yeah, we'll inform the other relatives.
After we've dealt with you, Jones.
PJ?
Don't start, please.
PJ, what are you hoping to achieve?
Confession, what do you think, Joe?
I think you've lost the plot.
Ben, a word?
PJ was supposed to question Luke out in the field, not drag him back in here yet again for another interrogation. What is that going to achieve?
I agree.
Then why am I the one in here?
You're the sergeant, and you're his mate. You need to keep him in line.
Since when has anyone managed to keep PJ in line?
As long as he's obsessed with Luke Darcy, any real investigation is dead in the water.
We're still investigating.
Have the relatives been informed? Kayla and Ditch?
Tell us the truth. Look, we know you did it. You tell us the truth.
PJ.
Look, I'm conducting an interview.
It doesn't sound like it. Is everything all right?
Everything is fine.
I'm not asking you. Mr. Darcy, are you happy with your treatment by the police so far?
It's okay, Senior Sergeant Croydon. He's only asking the questions I'd be asking if I was in his place.
Has Mr. Darcy been asked everything you need to know in terms of your whereabouts for the past few hours?
Yes, he has.
Is there anything material to his being next of kin that you still need to know?
No.
Then this interview is over.
Boss, can I go and see my grandmother now?
No. Yes. You're not buying this, are you?
I'm not buying you, PJ. I know you think Luke is behind this.
Of course he is.
Raping an old woman?
There are plenty of cases of elderly women being assaulted like this.
Have you ever known a young man to rape his own elderly relative?
Well, I've never known another Luke Darcy.
Everything I know tells me it's just not credible Luke would do this.
Kayla, some information that might help you.
I saw this guy hanging around this morning before I went to do the shopping.
Did you talk to him?
He was kind of scary looking.
How?
He was old and bald, and he looked like a bit of a darrow, but his clothes were clean.
Oh, what was he wearing?
Blue trousers and this jumper with pictures of hamburgers on it.
Ronnie Hall.
Well, sounds like it. There's not too many jumpers like that around.
You found Ditch?
Yeah, at Centrelink. I drove him to hospital.
Was he there all morning?
He had an appointment to discuss his activity agreement.
So he's alibied. Looks like we better bring Ronnie in.
Kind of convenient. Now, Kayla only came up with this story after talking to Luke.
Ronnie's been linked to 2 out of 3 of this morning's incidents. There's more grounds for interviewing him than there have been at any stage for Luke Darcy.
In your opinion?
PJ, you don't have to be involved, but I am bringing Ronnie in.
That's all right. I'll go.
Take Joe with you.
Luke.
We're here
Right.
for Ronnie, remember?
What now?
Just want to have a little chat.
Hey, Jay!
Guess I should thank you.
Just a reflex.
Ditch.
Why would Ditch want to run you down?
Guess we're gonna have to ask him that.
Don't worry. We will.
It was an accident.
Sure it was.
The car went out of control.
Save it for the tape. Okay. That's Bud.
He's bloody crook, that's how he is.
This is Vic Booker, my ex-husband.
What are you doing about finding the bloke who bashed me son?
Well, we're doing our best.
That's Luke Darcy, isn't it?
You know him.
His grandma got bashed this morning on the radio. What's he doing with the coppers?
He's helping us with our inquiries.
His grandma gets bashed just like me boy. You think it's the same person, don't you?
We don't know.
Well, he just got out of jail, didn't he?
Mr. Booker, you need to concentrate on bail right now. Leave the police work to us.
Yeah, you better be bloody good at your job then. Because there's a 14-year-old boy in there that just might not make it.
Where's Ronnie?
It's not important.
We agreed you were going out to pick him up.
Ditch just tried to run down his cousin. Clearly there's something going on between them.
Which may have nothing to do with our
I believe
ongoing
it does,
cases.
Ben. I believe it does.
Ben, I need
Look, Susie, we've got a lot of work to do today. I'd appreciate it if you could concentrate on the job. Now, I need you and Jones to go and pick up Ronnie Hall.
I was going to say, I've got someone on the phone from the media and they want to comment about the vote.
Right.
Do you want to speak to them?
Refer them to media liaison, and that goes for anyone else who needs to know.
Yeah, sorry, you have to get onto media liaison for that. Cheers.
Running away again.
What? You're avoiding her.
Yeah, g'day, Marissa.
What's it got to do with you, anyway?
She wants to talk to you, Ben. And it's pretty clear that you don't want to talk to her.
We talked. End of story.
Well, I doubt that she thinks so, mate.
You were out of line even having this conversation with me.
I just checked with Captain Marissa. Ronnie's down at Salvo's.
Good.
So why did you want to kill your cousin?
I don't. I was just driving off down the shop. Next thing I know, the car's out of control and I'm smacked into another car.
All right, let me ask you another question. If you did feel angry with Luke, angry enough to want to kill him, what would he have done to make you feel like that? Ditch. Your grandma Lucy is in hospital right now. She has been bashed. She has been savagely beaten. She has been...
Don't want to hear it.
You know she's been raped, don't you? Someone out there has raped your great-grandmother. That would take someone with a pretty sick mind to contemplate that. Something so hideous, so vicious. Who?
I don't know.
Where were you when it happened?
At the doll office?
Where was Luke?
I don't know.
So you can't say for sure, but it couldn't have been him.
No, I can't.
He practically said Luke did it.
But he didn't actually say, did he?
Ditch thinks Luke raped his grandmother and he doesn't like it.
Joe?
I agree with PJ. I think Ditch really does believe Luke's guilty.
Exactly.
That doesn't mean he's right. Ditch could have it wrong. I mean, like you said, there's no love lost between them.
Plus, you're taking the word of a man who just tried to kill Luke.
And why would he do that?
I don't profess to know the inner workings of Ditch Kenny's mind. There could be dozens of reasons.
Like?
We're jumping the gun. We should be investigating all avenues before we start locking anyone up.
I'll tell you one thing, poor old Ronnie is not capable of any of these crimes.
Well, why don't we talk to him before we start jumping to conclusions?
Can you keep us secret?
You've been drinking, haven't you, Ronnie?
That's my secret.
We're going to have to do this when you sober up, mate.
Ronnie? Who gave you the $100 note? Was it Luke Darcy?
Constable Parrish, isn't it?
What can we do for you, Mr. Darcy?
Captain Marissa's worried about Ronnie. She asked me to come down here and give him a lift back.
He's still being interviewed.
Sure. Okay, I understand. Can I wait? I can take what PJ has to give out. Probably deserve it. But Ronnie's an old man.
Luke Darcy gave you the money, didn't he? Didn't he?
Tell me the truth, Ronnie. Tell
That's
me.
enough. I think maybe it's time for you to take a break.
There's not too many people in the world who treat everyone equally.
Yeah, she's a really lovely person. Very genuine.
What's going on here?
Just talking about Marissa.
I'm here to pick up Ronnie when you're ready.
I'm not.
Well, if you tell me how long
I'm not telling you anything.
I'm just here to help.
When we finish with Ronnie, we'll drive him back.
Okay. It was nice chatting with you. You're way too pretty to be a copper.
PJ, don't.
You keep your sick, perverted eyes off Constable Parrish. Do you understand me? What? You heard me. You may be able to fool everyone else this town, but you don't fool me. I know the sick piece of world you are. So if I ever catch you looking at her again, or you ever touch her, I swear to God, I will crush your skull into this wall. PJ! Do we understand each other?
You do realise that Luke Darcy would be well within his rights to complain to ESD about police harassment.
Can't you see what's going on?
I'm sure you're about to tell me.
Look, Luke stages the break-in of the Salvo Hall to cover the fact that he's nicked the petty cashed in. He then gives Ronnie a $100 bill from the takings, knowing that it will cause suspicion.
Then he bashes Bo Healy and rapes his own grandmother.
Because she wouldn't back his story.
The guy is a sociopath. He's psycho.
Just give me a few minutes, will you?
Sure.
Maybe you should think about taking a few days off.
You've got to be joking.
If you can't do your job and exercise some sort of self-control, I can't see any alternative. I'm going to have to call St David's and arrange for another CIU member to take over this investigation.
No!
It will be for your benefit, PJ. You've lost perspective on this.
Am I the only one that can see what's going on here? You know what? You want to report me? Report me!
PJ,
Don't start.
wasn't going to. Actually came here to see what you want to do about dinner. You could go to the pub. Or we could stay home and order Chinese takeaway. Or you could just stay here like this for a while. Your choice.
He's dangerous, Joe. No one else sees it. Maybe I am the one that's gone crazy, eh?
You're just the one who needs to take a break for a couple of hours. Yeah? That's what do you say about dinner?
I think I might take a drive and clear my head, eh?
Okay.
Meet you up at the pub?
Girls' night, is it?
No, not really. It's just that most of the boys are off sulking.
Well, Jonesy's here.
Yeah, 1 out of 4 ain't bad, I guess.
Sounds like you need a drink. Same again?
Yep. Tough. So what's happened to Ben? I thought he was joining us for dinner too.
Yeah. Ben would climb Everest naked, clinging on by his fingertips to avoid having a conversation with me.
Well, if anyone was avoiding anyone, you'd think you'd be avoiding him.
Yeah, but I'm not. I think we should talk about it. He doesn't. What is it with these guys?
Oh, it's simple. Inside every man is a 12-year-old boy.
And every woman?
12-year-old girl. Except 12-year-old girls are much more mature than 12-year-old boys. Yes.
Another one?
Oh, I'm going to hang around all night waiting for Mr. Grumpy.
I was a bit early for bed.
Don't worry, I'm not going home to pine. Thought I might grab a DVD. You want to join me? Chick flick. Something really tragic and romantic, I thought.
It sounds good.
Who am I going to play pool with?
I don't know.
Make some new friends.
Mr. Grumpy number 2.
Oh, Suze, if you turned up, he probably wants to chat.
Yeah. I'll do the DVD thing by myself, okay? See ya.
Hey, trucky types? You're okay. G'day.
The shrink was big on clearing the air with you, so we can keep working together.
Fair enough.
I don't blame you for Brad's death. At all.
Okay.
You did the only thing possible under the circumstances. He had a gun pointed at me and was threatening to shoot. If I was in your shoes, I probably would have done the same thing.
If you're cool about it, so am I. I'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, how'd it go?
I said everything I wanted to say.
Well, that's great. Isn't it?
Hey!
Hey.
Hey, finally.
Well, I had some things to do. Where's Joe?
She went home to watch DVD.
What?
Constable Parrish.
Get out. Get out of my house! Ah! Get away from me! Get off me!
Love this.
No! Stop!
PJ called. You okay?
Yeah, I'm all right.
What happened?
I must have hit my head, but I'm okay.
You sure it was Luke?
Yeah.
Where's PJ?
Well, isn't he with you?
He's here.
Don't worry. He's dead.
Put it down!
She won't be coming back.
$50 says she does.
She'll have requested a transfer.
You reckon?
Wouldn't you? I'm only here for a couple of months before.
Wishful thinking?
It doesn't bother me whether she comes back or not.
Sure, I mean, you were the one who, you know.
You can say it, PJ. I am the one who shot Susie's husband.
So aren't you just a little nervous about seeing her again?
Why would I be? I had no choice.
Benny, you can't kill another human being without feeling terrible about it.
Is that how you felt when you shot that woman?
Arlene Darcy.
Okay, see the man, Thomas 508. You attended the Salvation Army Hall for a cold bird?
I noticed it first thing this morning.
Well, the last thing we need is the cost of replacing a smashed window. It's not counting the money stolen. It was everything we raised last week at the new welfare centre. It was $720.
Quite a bit of money.
Luke Darcy.
Mr. Hashem?
You're under arrest.
I'm not sure the handcuffs are strictly necessary.
Unnecessary.
Joe, could you take Mr. Darcy through to the interview room, please?
Yes,
With
sure.
Jones.
All right, Jonesy. Take his handcuffs off, please. Yep.
Was that...
Yep.
He's out of jail already.
Time flies.
I assume we're talking parole and not jailbreak.
Well, this theft means he's broken parole, so he'll go straight back in.
So he's responsible for the break-in?
We haven't talked to him yet.
Luke Darcy is at the Salvo Hall. There's trouble at the Salvo Hall. Luke Darcy is trouble. It's not that hard to work out.
Why don't you see what he's got to say for himself? Given your history with the suspect, perhaps you should sit out of the interview.
I'll be sitting in.
Can you tell us what time you arrived at the Salvo Hall this morning?
Yeah, about 8. Window was already broken by then.
What were you doing there anyway?
I'm working as a volunteer. I can understand why you'd drag me in here. But you've got it wrong. I've changed.
You haven't changed that much if you're stealing from the Salvos. Even in the criminal world, that's considered pretty low.
I'm not in the criminal world anymore. I'm in the real world. I found God. In prison.
So that's where he's been all this time, eh?
You can mock me. I understand. But it's true.
How long have you been working as a volunteer?
Since I got back to town.
And when was that?
2 days ago.
Did you know where the cash box was kept?
I assume it was in the safe.
And did you take it?
No.
Just for the record, where were you last night?
I was at home with Grandma Lucy.
Happy families with the Darcy family, eh?
Strictly speaking, Grandma is a Kenny.
PJ, can I have a word?
You think I've been too hard on him?
Jonesy, can you keep an eye on our friend? Joe? Yeah, I do.
Yeah, well, maybe I remember a little too clearly the day he tried to set his stepfather on fire.
Maybe he really has changed.
Nobody changes that much, with or without God's help.
Even if you don't believe that he's become a Christian, what kind of person would get out of jail, instantly commit a crime, and then hang around to get caught?
A sociopath like the one in there.
I know you don't like the guy, but bottom line, there is not a shred of evidence that Luke Darcy took that money, so we let him go.
You have got to be kidding.
Ben's right if you've got no evidence.
Look, I don't believe he has changed. Even working for the Salvos in the first place is all part of the sick little way his mind works.
You may be right.
I am
but you're
right.
not going to get anywhere without any evidence. Let him go.